morning, students. So last class we discussed about modeling a SWOT temple. Let me take you to some of the other basic steps. For example, let's take this cube. Okay, let me scale this up. Okay, let's see here. So we have a cube. So the things what we mentioned here is let's go to your modeling. Okay, we have several tools here. So let's tear this menu off. Great. So this is a mesh menu. So what does this mesh menu will do? Let's see. Let me duplicate this. Hit Ctrl D. Great. I would like to turn this on. Okay. Now I press R. I scale it down from the middle. Great. So I press R again. Yeah. Let me push this inside. Press F. So this is object A, and this is object B. So I want A minus B to make this whole. So A shift B. Booleans, we get difference. So once is the difference, this is what happens. This is difference. Now you can see objects. It created a hole here. Okay, let me press Z for undo. Now again A, shift B, boolean, and union. Before that I press forward in the wireframe, and now let me turn off the grid. Now you can see the objects, right? There are two separate objects. Now I go to boolean, I hit union. Yeah, now you can see they are merged into a single object, and whichever was extra was removed in the middle. Look at that. Now this is how the object is. Now this is a union single object. Yeah. Now I press 4, I press Z to undo. Okay. Now again the same. A, shift B, booleans, and intersect. The icon also says that the objects whichever are intertwined, only that will be preserved. Yep, only the object which is already inside both the spheres, only those were preserved here. So I press undo. This is what booleans will do. And I think we already discussed about combine and separate. Combine will make both the objects into a single one. Look at that. Yeah, now it's just a single one. Then separate will make them as a separate one. So that's what it is. We press Z. Okay, there are two objects. Yeah. And similarly we have smooth, and let me talk about smooth here. I press W, I move it up, press 5. We already discussed about smooth, but always remember, whenever you press smooth, what will happen is the number of faces or the poly count will be doubled. Let me go to my display and heads up display poly count. What is that? Poly count, poly. Yep. Now, yeah, the selected face is total face in the scene of 24, but I'm not selecting this. I'm selecting only this, so it's just 12. Or I can just move it away. Yeah, press F. So when I press smooth, you could see the number of faces will turn from 6 to 12. Let me smooth it. Okay, the smooth, it turns into 24. Okay, that's too much. So what happened actually? Now select this object. Great. Let me go to my attribute editor. I want attribute editor to be fixed there, but it's not. So let me go to my window workspace. I'll reset this one. Which one? The Maya modeling standard. I go to modeling standard. Yeah, it's fixed. Okay. Now let me select this object. Now you could see in the history there is poly smooth face. You see that? This is a poly smooth face. Just click that. This is the use of the history. So when click the poly smooth face, you could see there the number of divisions is 1. Okay, it's smoothened. Now let me click this and make it 0 and enter. Look at that. Now the object is black. So you don't need to press undo, or you don't need to press redo to make smooth again. So this is the best part we have. So now let's select this object. Go to polysmooth face again. In order to increase the level of smoothness, look at that, the division is 1. Great. If you want more, press 2. If you want more, press 3. If you want more, you can press even 10. But it says that it will take too much, the mess will become too much heavy. Do you want to do that? I said yes. So let's see, what does it do? Of course, it will make your system to crash. That may happen for sure. Yeah, it seems it's still working on the number of 10 divisions. Seems my system. Yeah, now you guys could see that. See, look at the polygons now. Now the polygon faces are 6. You could see that here. Yep, these are the polygon faces we have here. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, it seems like 62 million. Yeah, 62 million polys are there now. So I select this. I go to my polysmooth face history. I turn the division into 0. Hit enter. That's it. It's back now. So this is how you could smooth. It's not just about this. There are many things we need to do that. Let me do something. Let me select, delete this. Go to poly. Yeah, let me delete this also. Let me create a polyplane. Fine. Now look at this polyplane. I don't want this to be this many. Let it be 5. Great. Let me select this. This time I select the face. I select my face mode. I right click, come to face. See, right click, you come down, right? That's what I do fastly. So face mode. And if you go diagonally, this is object mode. Okay, top, edge, left vertex. So this is what I usually do. This is object, face, edge, and this is vertex. And there is another mode called multi. This is a good mode. Multi is a good mode that you can select edge, face, edge, and vertex, anything. But there may be a chance that we may make some mistakes, so I stick with these 3 rather than preferring multi, because to avoid some unwanted problems. Great. Now let me select these faces. I selected 3 faces. Then I hold my shift and I extrude it. Great, it's extruded there. Yeah, and now we did the extrude. And once we've done the extrude, you could see at the right section, yeah, there are many things here, like divisions and twist and other things are there. Yeah, now you can see there, we just did an extrude. But when I press R, you can see how it's there. It's scaling all together. Now come down, you can see there is a local scale there, divisions and twist. Let me select the twist to make it. Yeah, it is going to twist, but not now. Let me increase the division. The division is 1. Let me increase the division. So you will see that the divisions will become heavy. Okay. So, but I want more changes, not like this. Let's see what kind of changes. Now again, let me select these 3 faces. Okay. Then now, instead of just shift and extrude, okay, instead of doing that, all I need is I go for shift right click, we have extrude, all the same. This shift and moving is added just recently. Before that, classical Maya has this option, extrude face. Why? What's the big difference here? The difference is this. Let me select, shift right click, select the faces, then shift right click, extrude face. Yeah, you have your option here. Now there is an option called, now you got extrude tool here. This tool has, in this tool you can move, is that, you can rotate, is that, and you can even scale. In order to enable scale, click any of these 3 cubes, then you would get the scale option in the middle, then you can scale. Yeah, now you can do it. Undo. If you want to rotate, click the rotate tool. Now you get the rotate options. You can click any of the axes and you can do undo. Okay, this is what we can do. Okay, now here you could see there is a keep faces together is on. When I scale it, click this. Yeah, it's scaling. Could you see that? Yeah, they're all scaling together. This is good. And what if I make this off? Let me undo. Now let me make this off. It is off now. Not like this. Oh, you will see that each faces are now separate. They're not related to each other. I press G again. Yeah. I press G again. They're all separate now. Press G again. They're all separate. Whereas if you select these faces now, and again I go to my extrude face, sorry, go to my extrude face here, and I make this key faces together on. Yep. Again I press G, I press on. You see that? There's a difference there. There's the biggest difference you can get here. So we should keep in mind when we do the extrude how it used to be. Now I select this, I delete. So this time, let me create another. Yeah, I think this will be fine. Oh, this is a problem. There is a problem here. I want to go to my create poly primitives, a plain option box. I prefer this to be 5. Great. Okay, now look at this. If we are trying to make objects smoother, there are a few things that we need to understand first. Number one, let me select these 3 faces. I go to Shift and extrude them. Yeah, it's perfect. Then again, I select these 3, Shift and extrude. Okay, both are similar. And look at that. That's the problem with that. Yeah, I should select them. Then I hold my Shift and press them. Great. So now I switch it back to object mode. Great. Now there is another way to smoothness. The first way we do is we just shift right click and we go for smooth. This is how we enable smooth for a polygon. Select the object, shift, right click, you have smooth. Great. The smooth is applied. See that how the smooth is applied? Yeah, that's how smooth used to be. Okay, so I press Z again. Or there is another way, which is select the object and press 3 on your keyboard. Now you can see it is smoothed. We call this as smooth preview. It's just for your preview window. I press the render screen now. You can see the render output there. Yeah, there's no light. Anyway, so now this is a normal smooth. In order to go back, press 1. So whenever you model the object, if you want to check how this object will be after I apply smooth, you can select the object and press 3 to get a preview of how your object will be after applying smooth. And press 1 to come back to normal mode. So this is the best way you can preview your smooth. But the actual preview is you should shift right click and apply smooth. Okay, but every time you apply and coming back, so in order to make the process easier, 3 is best method and press 1. Great. Now you could notice that in order to make this smoother much perfect, you can shift right click. I go for insert edge loop tool here. So in all the previous times there was no multi-cut, there was only insert edge loop tool. So we click this insert edge loop tool, then now look at this. Now I select this object and I click here. Can you see that? This insert edge loop. You click here, great. Yep. So again, I do the same here. Yep. Then I press W, right click, come to object mode. Now we select this object and shift right click and apply smooth, or you can press 3, both will look the same. Now you could see that the object shape is preserved because of adding another edge loop at the edges. So similarly, whenever you model something, if you want the object's shape to be preserved, you should add extra edges around the existing ones. If you don't do that, look at it, it's like a smooth blended one. So that's a big difference it would make when you make an extra edges around the existing one. Now press 1 to go back. Similarly, we can even add more edges to make it much more perfect and stronger here. So the more the edges, the more the perfect it will be. And I press Z. Yeah, now it's gone. But there is a new tool which I mentioned in the last tutorial. Shift right click, there is a multi-cut tool. You could use that by holding Control. You can add edge loops. Here one, yeah. And I can even add here one, but it also will be affected. Okay, if I add here like this or like this. Okay, that'll be perfect ones. Now you can press 3 and I can see it here how the shape is. It's like a perfectly, yeah, a perfect one. We got it here because it also got edges. Yeah. So that's how you should. So whenever you model something, you should keep in mind how the output you want it to be. So let me shift right click, multi-cut. I hold my Control key. Let me add one more here and one more here. Yeah. Now it'll be perfect here. W right click, object mode. Press 3 and now you can see that. Yeah, now it's look like a chocolate cake. Yeah, that's perfect. So that's how a smooth works. That's how we should smooth. So being a modeler, you should know when you apply your edges, what's the purpose and why you have to apply edges, and everything matters. So you have to apply edge only if there is needed. You have to extrude a face or a polygon only if it is needed. Unless, please don't do that. Let me go to new scene. Okay, now similarly, let's take this cube here. Press F. Yeah, we already discussed about a few things. Let me Control D. Yep. Let me click this. Yeah. Now the same here. Whenever you apply, select the object, shift right click, we have multi-cut, and I hold my Control D, 1, then 1 here, 2, then 1 here, 3. Do you see that, how I did? I press Z for undo. Yeah, I could see all the 3 sides are covered. Similarly, one more here. Similarly, one more here. Yeah, now they are pretty covered. Now right click, go to object mode, select this object, press 3. Okay, select this object and press 3. Now you can see the difference. The object shape will be preserved. Yeah, press 1. Yep. Similarly, if you want more shapes, you could do that. And is this the way to do it? There is also another way. Now press F. Now shift right click, you could see offset edge loop tool. Click that. Now click on the existing edge and drag. You could see now there are 2 edges meeting, right? Similarly, there are 2 edges that are meeting now. So you can add 2 edges which are along both the sides of an selective edge. This is what offset edge will do. But it will just create an extra 2 edges on the sides of a selected edge. It won't create a loop like how we did here. So even when you apply smooth for this object, you will see that there's a problem, because even let me go to shift right click, I apply smooth. Look at that. This is a big mistake. It's a big problem. This is not how a model has to be. These are all mistakes. So we should not do them. Press Z. So whenever you apply, you add an extra edge, ensure that it covers an entire object. I press Z. So there are a few reasons that why we don't use it. But if you have a loop, a perfect loop, then you could use that. Let me do this. I go to my multi-cut tool. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a mistake. I shift right click. I go to my multi-cut, and I hold my Control. Great. I hold my Control. Great. Now I shift right click. I go to offset edge loop. Now select this. Yeah, you see that along both the sides. Great. Now select this along both the sides. You are getting one. Yep. Great. So during these times, offset edge loop will help you better. Okay. So this is offset edge loop. And what if I want some object to be, let's say this cube. Okay, let me select this edge. Great. Let me do the same shift right click. You see bevel edge like that. You see now the edge is beveled. But why we do that? To make the edge smoother. How it's smoother? You could see the fraction. Click and drag. Click and drag. Yeah, you could see the fraction there, and increase the depth. Yeah, sorry, not the depth, increase the segments. Yeah, now you could see there it's smooth. So in this way you can create a smooth edge. Yeah, let me turn this off, wireframe unshaded. Now it's clear. So this will work perfect in many such ways. Let me select all the edges here. Great. I select all the edges, then I shift right click, bevel, then I reduce the fraction, maybe 0.1, then I increase my segments. Great. Now right click, go to object mode. Now this also serves the same similar one. Look at that. Because there are edges everywhere, so it is perfect now. And the problem here is you have a triangle. That's why when it's not selected, you could see some light is not properly reflecting back. So that's why we should not have a triangle. We should always go with a quadrangle, so everything will be a proper. Yeah. So let me undo them. Okay, if you noted properly, everything I did in modeling, it's all about selecting the model and shift right click. Shift right click will get you insert edge tool, multi-cut, then extrude tool, then smooth, and of course you do have separate, combine, booleans, everything comes under shift right click. And there are also other tools, like you can soften the edges and harden the edges. Then you can you should hold the mouse. And also we have other tools like append to polygon tool and all. We discussed them, mirror, and everything is there. Yeah.